Hello everyone. Today we are going to see capital gains under income tax. For the purpose of computation of total income to assess income tax, all incomes have been classified under five major heads. They are salaries, income from other sources, profits and gains of business or profession, capital gains, and income from other sources. In this video, we are going to see about capital gains of individual assessee. Capital gain is the fourth among the five major heads of income. As per section 45, any profit or gain arising from transfer of a capital asset effected in the previous year is called as a capital gain. Then what is capital asset? Capital asset is a property of any kind, whether fixed or circulating, movable or immovable, tangible or intangible. Some assets are exempted from capital assets. They are stock in trade, assets held for personal use, except jewelry. Jewelry will come under capital assets. Rural agriculture land and gold deposit bonds. Now we'll see the different kinds of capital gains. Capital gains are subdivided into two on the basis of holding period. They are short term capital gains and long term capital gains. For the capital assets are again subdivided into financial assets and non financial capital assets. Under financial capital assets, if the listed securities are the holding period of the listed securities are less than 12 months, then it is a short term capital assets. If the holding period of listed securities are more than 12 months, then it is a long term capital assets. Unlisted securities, if the holding period of unlisted securities is less than 24 months, then it is a short term capital assets. I'll repeat, if the unlisted securities, the holding period is less than 24 months, then it is a short term capital assets, and the holding period is more than 24 months, then it is a long term capital assets. Now, for non financial assets, for land and building, if the holding period is less than 24 months, then it is a short term capital assets. And if the holding period is more than 24 months, then it is a long term capital assets. Other than land and building, all other non financial assets, if the holding period is less than 36 months, then it is a short term capital assets. If the holding period is more than 36 months, then it is a long term capital assets. After computing the capital gains can be exempted from tax under certain circumstances or under certain conditions. Exemption under section 54. Capital gains on the transfer of residential house. Under this, there are some conditions. The transfer of house property should be in a residential house, and the assessee should have only one residential house, and the asset should be a long term asset, and it should be transferred. After transferring the capital gain, with the capital gain they have to purchase another residential house. The assessee should purchase a residential house within 1 year before or 2 years after the date of transfer, or construct a residential house within a period of 3 years after transfer. Exemption under section 54B. Capital gain on transfer of agricultural land in urban area. Capital gain on transfer of agricultural land in rural area is fully exempted. So, if agricultural land is situated in the limits of urban area, and the agricultural land should be used by the assessee or his parents for agriculture purpose, and they have to buy a new agricultural land within 3 years from the date of transfer. Then they can claim for exemption under section 54B. Next, exemption under section 54D. This exemption is given for the assets which have been compulsorily acquired by the government, and this should be land and building. This asset can be a short term capital asset or long term capital asset, and they have to buy a new land and building within 3 years from the date of transfer. Remaining exemptions we can see in the next video. Thank you.